It's just fantastic to be here. Do you know, I could spend the whole day just reading the chat about where everybody is from all over the world and the fantastic stories. But it's just brilliant to be here today and to join you. I can see there's probably nearly 600 people on this call, so it's just fantastic. And obviously so great that you've all found the opportunity to join here live, or I know some of you will join in later on when you've got time. And I think, as Kath said in her opening remarks, it's testimony to the fact is that we all believe in the power of Playtimes. Sport England is so delighted to be working with Michael and the team at OPAL, and obviously to support this open day, as we also support and recognise the importance of active play. I was going to steal Michael's stat about 1.4 years of school time spent in play, but I, you know, he sort of articulated it brilliantly. I mean, 4.1 years, 1.4 years. It's really important that we make sure that that is quality time for all the children that we work with. In terms of Sport England, some of you may have seen that we launched our new 10-year strategy, Uniting the Movement. It was a couple of weeks ago now. And one of our key priorities is around creating positive experiences for children and young people. And we see active play as being one of the key ways to help us to achieve our ambition. And we know that play is really essential to children's mental and physical well-being. You know, perhaps more so now, obviously, with the struggles that we all had and children have had, obviously, while we've been going through this pandemic. We certainly know from our Active Lives Children and Young People survey, which is one of the largest surveys of the kind in the world. We survey about 130,000 children aged 5 to 16 each year. And we know from the findings that the more active a child is, the more happier they are, the more resilient they are, and the more trusting they are of other children of a similar age. But sadly, we know that children aren't active enough to reap those benefits. So there's so much more that we can do. We have to do that, obviously, to get the benefits of being active. We also know from the survey that active play and informal activity is the most popular activity for children, particularly those at primary school, so grade 5 to 11. So as schools start to open, certainly in England, obviously for, you know, the rest of the UK and indeed the rest of the world where you've been closed, it's an ideal opportunity to start to introduce active play, you know, to get our children back to socializing with each other, just enjoying, the word cloud that we had at the start, fun, creativity. That's what some children have missed while they have been, restricted, while they've not been able to join school. And as Kath said, as in, for those of you who work in England, we have got the primary P in school sport funding, the premium from the Department for Education. And play is one of the 5 indicators. And I think some people forget that, or they aren't aware of it. So you can use that funding, obviously, to introduce active play in your schools. It'll also help to make sure that physical activity is embedded right throughout the school day. And you're going to hear from some fantastic practitioners, who have recognised the importance of play. Certainly, I know Keith from Kenda is going to follow me. And I went to visit his school probably over 12 months ago now, and I was just absolutely bowled over with the amount of activity that was going on in lunchtime. I mean, and certainly I've told lots of my colleagues, get down and see it in action because it's just brilliant. So that's enough for me, but I just want to say, Sport England, we're so delighted to be working with Michael, the team at OPAL, to hear about lots of the work that's going on today. So enjoy the rest of the session today, and thank you so much to all of you for everything you do for our children in schools. It's just fantastic, and keep up the good work.